I used to wish that my life regrets would just disappear somehow, or maybe that I could bury them somewhere. But I never could. So I decided to make this video about them instead. I'm going to share my life's three major regrets. Regrets that have often caused me to ask, did I waste my life? I'll share a deeper answer to that in a bit. But for now, I'll say this. I often answer yes. Other times, maybe. My hope now is that by sharing these, we'll find a way to connect that will maybe help you understand your regrets a little bit better. But I'm not presenting a how-to here. In times past, I might have felt compelled to tell you how to fix this. But that's not what this video is all about. I just want to sit with you and share how my regrets have shaped my life. And I've come to believe that regret, if we let it, might just be the best teacher we have. This is my story, a story about what might have been. And I hope that you'll share your story in the comments. Not all regrets are life-changing regrets. Some of them just vanish in a matter of days. But with this video, I want to focus on the regrets that haunt us, that stick with us for a lifetime. And I've spent 40 years in that haunting. 3 regrets: an early life cult that I was a part of, decades chasing the wrong dreams, and a father that I never truly knew. Well, those are mine. And I want to share, as I said, how they shaped me, but also how they continue to influence my life today. I used to want to dissect everything, analyze, and formulate solutions to all of life's problems. But now at 75, my belief is that not everything needs to be solved or even explained. Sometimes all that's needed is a shift in perspective. I stopped asking, why did I waste my life? And instead, I started asking, what did these regrets teach me? One question kept me stuck. The other started opening new doors for me. And where I once sought answers, it's now more about the questions that I'm asking. And it's a liberating about face. Needing fewer answers leads me to a better appreciation of the questions that I'm beginning to ask. So let's take a look at my 3 major life regrets. And this isn't to just share the scars, but to see exactly how the scars are helping me now. My first major regret is this. Now, I was born into a very strict religious cult. And I spent the first 25 years of my life being taught things and believing things that were absolutely untrue. I believed that I would have no future in this world whatsoever, that I wasn't to participate in the world, that I would have no job, no career. I would never get married and build a family. And that there was no reason to prepare for adulthood because life was going to end any day now. Well, that didn't happen. And when I finally did leave that church, I spent many years playing catch up, trying to unlearn one reality and learn another, desperately trying to figure things out. But my early life conditioning ran very, very deep, and it was hard to get that out of my system. I ended up behind the eight ball on pretty much everything that I tried. I was angry, and I felt I was robbed of years that I would never, ever get back. Yeah, I carried a lot of regret, but I also carried a lot of guilt for staying in that church too long, but also guilt for having abandoned what I thought was the only truth, what I at least formerly thought was the only truth. But in time, thankfully, things began to shift. I learned that being fooled didn't make you a fool, it just made you human. I also discovered that I'd developed an ability to spot manipulation now. And that upbringing, it taught me the power of belief and conviction, which I'm now able to channel in better directions. And it also allows me to understand people better, what they believe, what they do, and I can do so without judgment. So maybe my early life wasn't a total waste after all. My second major life regret was decades of random chasing. After leaving the cult, I chased one brass ring after another, new jobs, inventions, business ideas, all promising freedom, money, and meaning. And instead of me building skills or following a realistic path, I followed gurus, one after another. I bought into the fantasy that I could become the one in a million. And each failure had just sent me scurrying after the next promise. What I can see now, years later, is that I wasn't pursuing success. I was just trying to prove that my early life hadn't broken me. And those situations I was in, boy, they really knew how to sell hope. Now, here's my third major life regret. My dad lived to age 91, and we never had a relationship. In all those years together, we never had one single real conversation. Not one. Oh, I tried, but I failed. And the regret stays. Recently, years after his death, I discovered something that explained why he was so distant and so cold. But it doesn't erase the loss. And this particular regret never gave me a clear lesson. There was no fix. There was no sudden realization that made everything okay. I just now know that some wounds never fully close, do they? Well, those are my three enduring life regrets: a loss of truth, a loss of time, and a loss of connection. For most of my life, they made me feel as if I'd missed out, and they made me feel like a failure, that I'd wasted years of my life. And my regrets colored almost every decision that I made. And they even sometimes whispered, Mel, you should have known better. But I didn't. In recent years, though, things are changing. The regrets aren't gone. No, I haven't buried them. I've just changed and am still changing how I handle them. I'm not interested in blaming anyone anymore, not myself, not anyone else. And things that would have set me off before don't carry the same weight that they used to. They don't push me over the edge. Now, I didn't force this shift. I think that it's just that living with these regrets for so many years, I finally came to the point of where I stopped fighting them. And here's a small example of how things have changed. While preparing for this particular video, I spent a good 3 hours taking notes or writing down what I wanted to say and share with you. And I felt pretty good about what I had. And then I got interrupted. And so I thought, well, I better save this document. So I hit don't save. And for whatever reason, it's gone and unrecoverable. Naturally, that stung and kind of got to me. So I thought, well, I'll just stand up, walk out, and shake this off. And as I went out of the office, I told my wife what had happened. And she looked at me and she said, well, look at you, all calm. This is further evidence of the new you. It kind of made me laugh. You know, things have been changing for me. It's not that I care less. It's that I just don't see every loss as a verdict or judge things as being unfair. My regrets, well, they're still with me. But instead of judging me now, my regrets are teaching me about who I was, who I am now, and who I'm still becoming. So I'll ask you this. What regrets are you dealing with right now? And what are they teaching you? And if you feel like it, now I would love it if you'd share in the comments. Yeah, I read them all, and I'll respond whenever I can. Maybe we could just sit with these together. Thank you.